Hi and welcome to this week's Scott Tilley photography vlog. In this episode I make a whistle stop tour up to Reeth in the Yorkshire Dales with some quite surprising results really. If you want to know more then keep watching. Good morning everybody. Made it up to Reeth this morning. I've just walked out of the centre of the village square, and I'm just making my way on a bit of a walk. I'm following on View Ranger, but I've also bought my maps up. Always bring your maps up. You know, never rely on an electronic device particularly. So I'm just using that as a guideline, and just really made my way out of the village. I'm already seeing some lovely scenery. Weather's not helping me today, but then, you know, I think you have to discount the weather. You know, we have to work in all different kinds of light and weather, and you know, you've just got to really adapt to the situation, I think is the message I'd get across. It's very rarely that you turn up somewhere and the light's just as you wanted it, so I'm sure we'll get something out of the day. I think this walk I'm doing heads sort of up towards there. Sounds like there's a shooting range somewhere. So yeah, I'm already seeing the signature sort of barns and things littering the landscape, and you know, we'll see how we go. Hoping to get, say, this walk done just before I go and pick Leia up from uni. So, and I've come up nice and early. The only trouble with it is couldn't come up early enough to catch sort of the best light of the morning, although I don't think we've really had any. We actually may get lucky up here today with the weather. The sun is just trying to break through. I don't know whether you can see over there on the tops. We just keep getting this slight little dappling of light on there, and there's still a little bit of snow around up there as well. So yeah, it could be an interesting day. I've got no preconceptions about what I'm looking for. All I'm really doing is walking around, enjoying the walk, and just really looking for things that take my eye. And then obviously, if I see something that I really, you know, jumps out at me, then I'll try and work a composition around it. So that's the way I try and work these days, rather than go out and say, right, you know, I've got to have this, I've got to have that, you know, and we'll see what happens. So far it's a glorious walk, I have to say. There's nobody around at all. Birds are singing. It's quite cold today. I think what I'm going to do before I head uphill, my path splits off here and I head up the hills. I thought what I'd do is come down to the river, and there's some nice sort of mini rapids here, so I think what I'll do, I'll take an image of the river, probably using some filters to slow the water down a bit and slow the shutter speed, and we'll see what we get. In the end, I couldn't resist a river shot. I mean, who can? It's some quite nice little rapids here, nothing too extreme. And as I'm heading uphill in a bit, and you've got the sound of the river next to you, it just sort of pulls you towards it. So I've done a couple of just normal shots of the river on long exposures, so 1-2 seconds, just to blur all the water. They look quite nice. Just an ND8, just to slow it down to about 1.5-2 seconds. Shot about f11, and really just focused on some little rocks over there, but with the 135 lens, so I've gone right in close. The trouble with doing sort of things like rivers with, you know, the water running over the boulders at this time of year is because they're in flood a lot of the time. There's an awful lot of debris and rubbish which makes your shot really untidy. So what I've tried to do is focus on one small area, and it means you can't really tell whether it's a tiny little, you know, rapid of water or whether it's something really huge. It just it's quite abstract in a way, but it's a shot just to get in, and I think it's starting to rain now, so Whether we'll get any decent shots on top or not, I don't know. We'll just have to see. But I'm going to head off up there now and see what I can get later. I think I've identified the problem today. Even when the sun's come out, which it's starting to try and come out now, the valley is absolutely covered in haze and it just makes everything look muddy. Now I can smell fire, and if I'm looking on the hillsides either side, I mean there's one over there, that's blowing away from me, but there's one directly down the head of the valley, and the wind, I think what they're doing, I think they must be burning the heather, and the wind's just pushing that smoke down into the valley, and it's just hanging there and it's spreading out and making it just look really hazy. So I think we'll struggle to get a shot up here today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue on my walk, which eventually will descend back down into the valley, and I'm going to see if I can find something down there. But I think we've probably shot it today up here. It's not looking too promising at all. As I say, even when the sun comes out, it's just being destroyed by this haze that's in the smoke that's in the valley. So we'll see. Oi! 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 I'm going! I'm going! You're a brave little chap! Nah, stop it! Okay, I can't actually believe this. I want to take a picture of this tree over here, and I'm being accosted by this little guy. He keeps attacking me, don't you? Yeah, you do. Yeah, I don't know whether you can see him, he's there, look. Yeah. So I've put my camera back down and you don't like that, do you? Well, that's you on there. Yeah, it's you. It's you. Have you done now? You got a poorly eye, haven't you, I think? Have you? Have you done? Don't attack the camera. I am going to see if I can get a picture of this tree. I'm going to try and work a composition out, if my little friend will let me. This is absolutely hilarious. He's insane. You're insane. I'm not bothered, I don't want your girlfriend. Well, I think that has to rank as one of the most weird experiences I've ever had. And when I said earlier on in this vlog that you really have to be adaptable and change your plans if things happen, I wasn't really considering doing any wildlife photography today, especially with a 50mm lens. However, seeing as, let me get over this stile, seeing as I've been accosted for about half an hour while I was trying to take a picture of a tree that stands in the sort of heather up there on its own. You might be able to see it behind me just, probably not now, but yes, the little fella, I think he'd got an infection or something in one of his eyes, but he did nothing but attack me for half an hour. And so I thought, well, I'll get some pictures of him. And bearing in mind he was about a foot and a half away most of the time. The only problem I did have is that every time I went to look through the viewfinder, he attacked me. So I had to sort of try and keep him at bay with one of the tripod legs. But it was absolutely hilarious. Anyway, if I don't get a landscape image, there will be an image of a very angry red grouse. And I don't know why he's angry with me for. I've not done anything. It must be his tree. Anyway, he followed me all the way down the hill for about 40 yards, so that must have been his area. I know I said they looked like they were marking the territories out already. Obviously, he's marked his out. But yeah, what can I say? A strange, weird, but hilarious experience. Well, I think I'm going to call it quits for today. What an experience it's been. Definitely going to come up here again, hopefully when there's some better light. But I'm not sure whether it'll be a landscape image on this vlog or not. When I've finished it, maybe the picture of the grass, because that's the standout thing for me today. And to be honest, you know, these vlogs are supposed to be interesting and informative, but also a bit of fun. And you know, my God, he was a character. So that's it for today. I'm going to head back to the car and then drive back up to Durham, pick my daughter up. Hope you have a good weekend, and this vlog should be out early next week. If you've enjoyed this vlog, please subscribe on the link below, or there's a bubble up here somewhere where you can also subscribe. Also give me a like and you know, spread the word, and hopefully see you soon for another vlog.